After that nuts game, if you're watching on YouTube and you're just watching this one, you can basically go watch back because the ending to the Skull Servant game is crazy. So Cyrus, I thought so. Is on the right hand side who's going first playing Tellarknight, and we also have Tom Watabiki playing Zoodiac Shaddoll. You heard me right. Zoodiac Shaddoll. Beaky is playing on stream. I know a few of you in the chat will be quite happy about that. So, Cyrus is opening hand for playing... Oh no, that's Beaky's hand. Tom's hand is... Oh no, wait, Tom's playing the Satellas. By the looks of it. Or is it?
I mean, I have their deck list in front of me. No, it's definitely...
no, it's... Okay.
Tom playing the...
Kiwi's just played the wrong way around. Okay, anyway, so Teller's obviously going first. So Tellarknight, Deneb obviously good into Anuku. Oh, we also have Skybridge.
Yep.
Huh. So if you don't know what Skybridge does, it basically special summons out a Tellarknight and then you shuffle one back in. So it's a really good way to, I guess, splash the board quicker because now he's gone into Vega, he can summon out Anuku from his hand, or, well, any Tellarknight from his hand. But yeah, just to go over his hand very quickly, it's Drowning Mirror Force, Fiendish Chain, Tellarknight, Lightbridge, which you've seen, the Shield, which I have no idea what that does.
We'll pull that up shortly.
We'll pull that up later, and obviously the Deneb that you saw. So, yeah, very interesting straight away. And yeah, this is going to be crazy. It's going to be absolutely crazy. I just want to check audio levels. Yeah, so we're fine.
And just to go over Tom's hand,
yep, thank you.
A Pot of Desires. Sorry, he's drawn a Pot of Desires, a Shaddoll Squamato,
yep.
Zoodiac Rapier, a
yep.
Zoodiac Whiptowel, and a Lunalight Black Sheep.
Which is quite funny because the first thing that Vass said next to me when he got the deck list was, "What is a Lunalight Black Sheep?" And we have it in our opening hand, so I'm going to test you. What does it do, Vass?
So I actually managed to go and Google this card. So it reads, you can discard this card and activate one of the effects. Add a Lunalight monster from your grave to your hand except Lunalight Black Sheep. Add one Polymerization card from your deck to your hand.
Nice.
So looking at his deck list, that's the only Lunalight, so I guess he's just using it as a replacement for King of the Swamp.
Fair enough. So just to catch up on the play, Tellarknight, so Sirius went into, went into the Tsukiyomi, discarded, got a Rota and another back row, and searched out a Altair. Obviously you search out the Altair, because I can't see what he detached. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm just going to set up something for Vass here. There we go. Get the other screen going, because obviously I had to reboot. But yeah, apologies, technical issues, the usual stuff. But we should be good now. So, Beaky is now going to summon the rat, of course. From what I remember, there in the back row opposing him, there is a Drowning Mirror Force and a Fiendish Chain. So Fiendish Chain is going to instantly be activated here, which is... It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because he's just going to overlay straight away.
Yeah, that...
Like, I'm not entirely sure...
You probably hold that for the Tiger Mortar.
Yeah. So I think that was probably a fairly definite misplay there.
Showing a bit of rust up until this point, but I can assure you...
Yep.
I probably will make a few mistakes on the Zoodiacs, but, you know, it's a deck I've tested quite a bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, when the deck came out, it was super hyped.
And it still is.
What it was all about. So, ultimately, the place where you normally stop the deck is on the Tiger Mortar.
Yeah. Because the Tiger Mortar is the main one that extends.
He's not really going to be using the effect anyway. It's just the effect of Rat. So
yeah,
the Fiendish Chain isn't really going to do much here.
Yeah, unfortunately. So I'm while we're doing this, I'm just getting round 2 sorted on YouTube, which is obviously important. That's close to my heart, and I want that to go up. But most of you guys, I'm pretty sure, know what's going on in this match. So for at least this turn, anyway. But the Shaddolls, I really want to see how the Shaddolls come in, you know? It's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah, he did have that Shaddoll Fusion in hand, and he opted not to start with it.
Which, I would... well, yeah. Oops. But he still has it anyway. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
So we've seen him summon a Kagetsuchi. It met a Bottomless.
A lot of people playing Kakasuchi in it. Is it Kakasuchi?
However it's pronounced. I'm pretty sure it's Kagetsuchi. Sujintei Kagetsuchi.
A lot of people are starting to play that more. I keep seeing that crop up in a lot of people's extra decks now.
Yeah, I see it on the field quite a bit as well. It's a fairly popular card. Didn't have that much popularity in the OCG, so it's pretty impressive to see it doing so well over here.
It's nice to see for sure.
One thing I've been hearing is there's quite a lot of 60 card Zoodiac decks going around as well, so
yeah,
definitely interesting to see the Shaddoll Zoodiac deck.
Yeah, it is actually nice to see because I quite like Shaddolls. I assume he sent a dragon to the graveyard that popped that drowning. That's what it looks like it happened. I was looking away. That's the only reason I can assume my drowning's in the graveyard. So
yeah. So he's just gonna make the Trident here.
Yeah. That Phoenix Chain is dead.
You probably, looking at his field, you probably would have wanted to hold it for the Bujinte Kagetsuchi.
It's quite interesting. Beaky dropped the Black Sheep and Sirius's eyebrows just went up like, what? So it's really nice to see something different. That's what we wanted, basically, isn't it? We realised that towards the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of Zoodiac mirrors, so get the fun ones here now, and then we can go from there. So Pod's Eyes is activated. Seems like Beaky has opened up pretty well.
Yep. He opened his eyes as well. He did a correct thing.
And he has a barrage and I think an upstart. Does he play upstart?
I
think it. Yeah, it's definitely, an upstart.
So he did the correct thing there. He there was no cards he needed in his hand immediately with the Pot of Desires, and obviously he risked banishing those Rapiers. So he just held on to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely the correct thing to do.
Made his Kagetsuchi better because there's more cards left in his deck, more of the relevant Shaddolls that he's going to be milling. So just to go over his Shaddoll count, in case anybody's wondering, he's playing 2 Squamata, 2 Falco, 2 Beast, 1 Dragon and 1 Hedgehog. So relatively standard line, I'd guess. Nothing outrageous there.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm just editing YouTube stuff.
Interesting to know why he opted to play the Shaddoll build. I know Zoodiac's sort of, as an engine, they can splash in a lot of decks.
Yeah.
Seen ABC, Zoodiac, Metal Foes. But surprisingly not Shaddolls. This is the first one I've ever actually seen in action.
Proving that Shaddolls are obviously still decent.
Yeah, you just see the power of Zoodiac here as well. He's ending with sort of 3 cards on the field. He can pop a face-up card. His opponent's down to 2. And he's got 4 or 5 cards left in his hand.
And he drew a Kumungus, is that?
Yeah.
Which isn't terrible, because that answers at least the Shikanaga, but the Trident, obviously he can, for example, summon the Deneb. Summon the Altair, but then, you know. Yeah,
I mean, in this situation, his only way back is to make a Trigger. So you want to, like, Kumungus, the Trident, but he has no way, he has no access to the Trigger. The Shikanaga, I'm pretty sure he has a Shaddoll in his hand.
Yeah.
So that affects live, so... I mean, it's looking like a relatively quick game 1, to be honest here.
It does look like it a bit, but you never know. Could top deck that king.
Yep. It was like, oh, well, this game's over last round, and then...
literally in time, King Skull Servant comes down. Too good. So Beaky looks like he's just letting it go. He does obviously have Shaddoll in hand for the Squamata effect. But I guess there's no real reason to use it. I guess Beaky's waiting to see if there would have been a 3rd monster coming out onto the board to Tellarknight. Then that's when you'd be like, I'm stopping this. Trident's coming down at least. So it's pretty clever holding of resources, to be honest.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he sent a Vega first time, but he must have done because he had the Skybridge for the Unuk. So I assume at that point there would have been a Vega in the grave.
So at the start, he summoned the Neb, got the Unuk, then Skybridged out the Vega to get the Unuk out of his hands, and that's why it was in the grave, so that they would be
in that
played.
situation, I guess he's just waiting if Altair is going to target the Vega, because that gives him information on whether or not that last card is the Tellarknight.
Yeah. So he's going to overlay. Unfortunately, he can't go into Trivia, but he can go into one of the brand new Tellarknight cards.
Yep, Dark Tellarknight.
Do you know that effect?
I've played against it, I've played with it. It's a pretty wordy one.
It is a pretty wordy one. Bullet point it.
It's similar. It's along the line of Ptolemaeus. I'll pull its effect.
Yeah, basically you can rank over it, which is diamonds that people mainly go into.
Yeah.
Obviously. Rip Ptolemaeus. I love
So
that
I think
card.
it's if you have like 7 different names, you can rank up on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, which is not going to happen.
So just to read it, it makes all face-up monsters on the field dark. You can detach 1, discard a card, special summon 1 light Teller monster from your extra deck, using him as the Xyz material.
Okay. Which it looks like he's going to be doing now.
Yep, and then, as I was saying, if you have 7 or more different Tellarknight names in your grave,
Yeah,
then
you
you
can
can
do
use
it
it
in
on
your
your
opponent's
opponent's turn.
Diamonds has 2/7.
Yep, 2/7.
So it's safe from Shikanaga, which is 2/6. The 3k obviously defense is good. And Kumungus has 2/3.
Yep, 23.
Yeah.
24.
24. Can't remember.
Gonna have the chat going crazy over
Yeah, no, sorry.
all of our misinformation here.
I'm sure some people, while we're just waiting on Beaky to make a play, were wondering at how many Zoodiacs we have in the tournament. So we have 189, not Zoodiacs, players.
Yeah, 189.
And we have a total of 56 different Zoodiacs. That's going from pure to Kaiju to Infernoid to other. You're seeing one of the other ones right now. So Beaky summoned a Squamata and attached the Whiptail. That's interesting.
So, yeah, Whiptail, I'm pretty sure you can add it to a Beast Warrior Exceed. At
Very-
the end of the damage step, if it's an Xyz material, it will banish the
banish
monster it's
it.
battling.
Very, very clever.
Then he can detach the Whiptail to keep the Kagutsuchi alive.
Yeah. And that's all she wrote.
Yeah, he should be taking some battle damage for that, but I'm not. Sort of because he crashed the Kagutsuchi and I don't think it makes too much of a difference.
Oh, hold on. The judge is just checking something here. This is why we have a judge on the table. So we'll see what's... we'll wait to see what's being said.
Yeah, seems like there's just an inquiry over the Whiptail effect there. Maybe it's questioning when he detaches to keep it alive, if the Whiptail still... if the effect is still live.
Okay, so I think it was probably just a procedural question. More than anything. So, yeah, just if anyone's unsure, an Xyz monster whose original type is Beast Warrior and has this card as an Xyz material gains the effect. So, obviously, that's that. And that should be game 1, and it is. So, that's game 1. Overall, that vomit onto the field from Beaky was pretty decent. Can't argue with that, can you?
I mean, his problem there was he had to get over a Dryden and a Shekinaga.
Yeah, it's kind of on the wall a little bit. That the writing was on the wall for that one, honestly.
And he could have sort of tried to play through the Shekinaga, pray his opponent didn't have the Shaddoll card, but you could see that Squamata in his hand.
Yeah.
So that was always in effect.
So 217 currently in the chat. Welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining on this now overcast day, unfortunately. Hopefully it doesn't rain, because we have not the greatest roof for rain. We're not going to get wet, but it's going to get loud.
Yep, you're going to hear lots of
Pitter-patter.
background noise.
Yeah, that'll be a bit annoying. So,
well, the weather forecast for the day was clear skies.
it was meant to be okay, but no in England, you know. Why has Beaky got barrier up? Do we think this may be a gentleman's agreement type thing? I assume the Tellarknight player is playing barrier, right?
Well, let's find out.
No.
Nope, I can't see them.
Okay.
So
So
I assume that's probably because he didn't have access to the card list.
maybe
because-
a lot of people haven't had access to that card, but Beaky's still honouring it and he's putting it out.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good sportsmanship. Does he have 6? But while they're signing up, let's look at the extra decks because it'd be pretty good to see. Not extra decks, side decks. So Beaky in his side deck has 3 enemy controller, 1 Raigeki, 1 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, 3 Barrier, 2 Decree, and 3 Lancier. So the Barrier was in his extra deck. So I think he was just pointing out, saying, "Let's not do this because it's unfair. It shuts down both of our decks," type thing. Not so much the Tellarknight, because you can just still build up your board, but it's still fair enough.
So it is looking like a gentleman's agreement on the D barrier there.
Yeah, which is nice.
I guess
Yeah,
those
so
of you that
yeah.
have played the Zoodiac mirror match,
Yeah.
or even against Zoodiac, once you flip the D barrier, you call Exceeds, It's a pretty sad time.
Yeah,
A lot of
exactly.
the time you just set one or two of your traps, mainly your strikes or debarriers, and you just pass.
So Cyrus is going first, and he's opened up pretty decent. He's got 2 Alpha, 1 Anuk, a Dark Hole, and a Flying Sea. Whereas Beaky has opened up Shadow Fusion, Instant Fusion, Fire Formation Tenki, Speedroid Tentakenborg, and a Shaddoll Falco.
So I think from memory, we haven't seen a single Terratop being played, but
Nope.
we've seen 3 Takatomborgs.
Yeah, that's pretty good. AlintheaYoh Brotherhood stream too strong for no Tentakenborg at all.
Maybe like I've just been misreading Terratop and Takatomborg is
Yeah,
a
you actually
really
played
good
3
card.
of that, right? Yeah, it makes sense. So, they're maybe sorting out some life points here. I'm not entirely sure what. I'll find out from our resident judge. We'll just see if he's saying anything.
So we're guessing it's a face-up Unuk, 2 set alphas.
Yeah.
The Tenki's going for the rat.
Pow.
And there's the Flying Sea.
So
Looking at
that's-
his hand, he has the Shadow Fusion. So he can fuse...
So he can actually go into Shikanaga.
Yes. So maybe that's why you play the Shadow engine.
Spicy tech. So preemptive, but he can any. So obviously, sorry. So Rat's effect's going to obviously kick in.
Yep. So he's going to send the Zoodiac combo.
Yep, which is fine. So for the Shadow Fusion, he does have the Alpha,
Yep.
which will answer him for a turn.
If he had the Lunar Light Black Sheep,
Probably broken.
then,
Polymerization.
he could just discard it, add the poly.
He does have... Oh, Instant Fusion ain't going to help him. Never mind. I think Beaky's a little bit stuck, at least for this turn. If you had the barrage, you'd maybe be able to do stuff.
So I think we're about to see the Shadow Fusion. His opponent already flashed the Alpha.
Yeah, but
Not sure why that came face up.
He
But
has to play it. Yeah,
now he can push for 0 with the rat.
too strong. So draw, and then resolves. Cool.
Is that the Altair off the top?
Ow.
Looks
It looks like
Deneb.
Deneb. It's Deneb.
So his hand is a
Which is
Dark
still
Hole
pretty
Deneb
good.
with a set Alpha.
Because he can at least go for 15 damage on the rat.
And I guess it gets it off
It
the
gets
board.
100, doesn't it? Because of Tenki.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Life point's too good. Come on, Navas. I was wondering why he was attacking. I was like, oh wait, the Tenki's there. And he draws the Max C! Ooh! Very interesting. So, Deneb's going to come down, search out probably the Altair. Because that's probably the best thing he can search at this moment in time.
Yep, so it's actually shaping up to be a pretty interesting match.
Yeah, this one's pretty good. Beaky needs to get rid of that Flying Sea. What possible outs does he have main decked? So obviously we've gone over the sheep and the poly.
So the main cards you have to out the Flying Sea, because it's a fairly popular inclusion in the main deck as well.
Yeah.
You do see a few people go a bit wild and throw 3 in their main deck. So it's mainly the Zoodiac Barrage, the Forbidden Chalices. I don't know if Beaky is playing any Forbidden Chalice. It doesn't look like it from his deck list. He's siding 3 enemy controller. We saw Jeff Jones doing that on stream last night.
which is actually a great card.
Actually works out pretty well against the Flying Seas. You can just tribute your Flying Sea, take control of an opponent's monster.
Yeah. So he's now just going to basically switch the Flying Sea, suicide into it, so then he can make some plays. So how much Flying Sea have? Is it 800?
I believe it's 800, but let's just double check. So one thing you take for... Sorry, 700.
700.
One
okay.
thing you take for granted actually playing the game in person is you're able to just pick up all of the cards and read their stats.
Yeah, exactly. My math has vanished from my head. So what did you say, 700?
Yeah. So he would take 800.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm stupid. 5-8!
Sometimes math is hard.
Oh, math is very hard. Math is very hard for me.
So here comes a Terratop. I'm not going to search anything because...
Hey, Terratop! Finally seen one play. But not to its fullest effect.
no,
So we're
because,
still searching for that Terratop. See, Terratop's not a problem, guys, if you don't draw it.
He's got the Tactomborg in hand.
He also has Instant Fusion, which could be pretty spicy. Rat's level 4, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So, I mean, one thing we have in our sort of meta game is Instant Fusion is still quite a popular card because we have Norden legal.
Yep.
So, in the OCG, Ghost Ogre, very popular card because you would stop the Tiger Mortar. It kind of just ends their turn.
Yeah.
But now if you have an instant fusion, you continue to go off quite heavily. So
Cyrus dropped the Maxi, picks up an Oasis and a Fiendish Chain, and Breaksword's coming out. So Breaksword's going to pop the Tenki and the Neb. But there is another Alpha.
So whether or not he wants to play it here, I'm not sure if it's really worth it.
I think leaving that is probably fine. But he does get another draw, and the draw is, wow, it's a Vega, and he has Altair in hand.
Yeah, so
he has...
He's under the Maxi, otherwise we would have seen that instant fusion there. But
yeah, but I think this is a Tellarknight player.
That Maxi looks like it is a...
Yeah, but Beaky's also got a Maxi of his own. And he has activated the effect. So Beaky's at least going to be breaking even on that.
So, I mean, I guess here you just have to summon the Altair. He has the Oasis in hand. So
you might as well just leave it at this point.
So he's
just let him balance, and I think he picked up a rat as well.
He's not desperate to get to the Neb?
No. He's not desperate to get to anything. I think just pushing for some damage here is probably going to be the best thing. Excuse me, but it does seem like he is going to go for that extra draw. The extra play. Beaky picks up a Foolish Burial, which means that he could possibly do some Shaddoll sniping with Dragon.
Yep, so he's essentially got an MST in hand.
Yep.
He's got the instant fusion. He's got the rat. The rat is not a great draw for him there because once you start doing the Zoodiac combo, you special it from your deck or hand anyway. So he's just going to have to special that out.
Yeah.
So he hasn't been the most fortunate with his draws. He hasn't been able to get the Zoodiacs going as well, so that Zoodiac combo in his grave doesn't have much going on for him.
Yeah, exactly. So Beaky's down to 2-9 now after those swift attacks. And main phase 2 for Cyrus is going to go into Trap Tricks for Rafflesia. That's something we have not seen in a while.
Yeah, it's correct. Haven't seen it in a while. Did have a bit of popularity. I have heard a few people talking about that card.
Yeah. I think it's still a decent card. Trap hole cards are still good.
Yep, so just looking at his deck list, he has the bottomless trap hole and he has a floodgate trap hole. So there's 2 in his deck. I don't believe he's drawn either of them. So they're both legal at the minute.
Yeah.
Tom picking up a Royal Decree. A little too late for that card, to be honest. You need it a turn before.
Yep. Because that would have at least wasted an alpha. Or he would have activated it when there was no Tellarknight on the field.
Yeah. I mean, if he had the Decree set a turn before, he could just... Well, it wouldn't really do much, to be honest. He would have needed it
Yeah. Find it.
on his opening turn, so that way he could just set a Decree, try and stall out.
So Cyrus didn't set any back row. Am I missing something?
I don't know what you're missing. Maybe I'm missing it too.
Okay. I just find it interesting. He's got a lot of back row in his hand.
Yeah.
Because you went main phase 2 and Rafflesia. Maybe I've missed something.
He's holding his forehead. Maybe he just forgot to set all of those cards.
Because he's got like a floodgate. Floodgate trap hole and all that. Maybe he... I don't know. Strange. Anyway, moving on.
If anybody can work out...
Yeah, maybe we just missed something.
Set.
Because he's got a fair few things
looks
there.
like a Fiendish Chain, an Oasis, and a Floodgate trap hole in his hand.
So the Broad Ball's summoned. What trap holes does he play?
It looks like Floodgate and Bottomless. The Floodgate's in his hand, so he can't use that.
So he's only got Bottomless, and Bottomless is not useful here. Because they're all 100.
Yep, all of the Zoodiacs, they gain attack equal to the Xyz materials they have.
Yep.
And Rat being 0 and the Tenki being face up means he's not going to have a great opportunity to be able to Bottomless anything here.
Yeah, exactly. If you went through a normal Zoodiac play, the only things you can really Bottomless are the Emerald or the Coach King. If you just go by the normal plays.
Oh, so that's interesting. The Lunalight Black Panther is actually, Black Sheep is actually a Beast Warrior. So he added it with Broadball and discarded it. So there's a bit of synergy there.
Too good. Buy all the Black Sheeps now.
Yeah.
Those commons too good.
Over the course of this game, we're just seeing more and more why maybe the Shadows do complement Zoodiac quite well.
Yeah. So he's going to Foolish, so that's going to be Shikanaga. Falco is going to have its effect activated. So he's going to now Bottomless the Shikanaga, but is that a Shadow in hand for him? It is, yeah. So the way this works, you activate the effect, then you discard. And was that Dragon as well?
Yep.
Did Beaky forecast he had a dragon at any point? I don't think so.
No, I mean...
But even that, I don't think that's worth holding back 3 back row.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can...
Because if he hits the Oasis, for example, he still gets the effects because you just chain it.
Yeah, and if he set the Floodgate, for example, he could just play the Floodgate, keep his Rafflesia face up.
Yeah. So the Bottomless goes there. Obviously, it's negated. It's an effect to go. So Tellarknights are still looking pretty promising. I know this Instant Fusion is going to come down and probably go into a Dweller.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing... Dweller doesn't do too much.
Oh, yeah, true. Good point.
I guess the one thing to take away from this is the moment a trigger hits, it's kind of game over.
Yeah, it's just...
And he needs a Shaddoll card to be able to...
Stop that, and he doesn't have one. He has a Max C, though, I think.
So he's going to end with a Trident. Obviously, the Vega will play around that if he has one in hand. Or he has one in grave. And we know he has the Altair, so he will still be able to make 1 Exceed.
Look at all damn Exceeds. Thing is, though, Beaky does have the...
Interesting. He could have overlaid the Rat and the Norden to make the Broad Ball anyway.
Yeah.
So he just opted to let the Norden die. Not like it makes too much of a difference.
No, I don't think it does make too much difference, to be honest. So it's 19 to 53 currently. And pretty close game. Pretty close. So Foolish Burials, I assume that was a hedgehog that went to the grave, was it? And that grabs him the beast. So there's the answer to the Squamata. And he sets the Decree, which is very strong. So currently, he needs to draw like...
So
he has Dark Hole though.
And the Regeki. I'd play the Regeki just because he just top decked it. Put your opponent on tilt.
Pushing that, and that's disgusting.
Maybe that's why he didn't set any traps. He knew he would get another turn.
That's crazy.
The Falco's
going to activate effect, yeah. And he does get the fusion back, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. Raigeki now, because he's on 19. I don't know how much he can push past.
So, I mean, he only needs to do 1/9. He's got the Altair.
He's got the Altair.
Only Tellarknight's going to attack this turn.
Exactly. So Raigeki, Altair, Cowboy.
If he plays the Cowboy...
Does he? Surely, you play Cowboy, you're playing Tellarknight.
It's going to be fairly unlikely he plays the Cowboy.
What? Come on! These pro plays that I know that no one seems to do, probably because they're not really that pro.
I can't actually see the Cowboy. So,
Cowboy isn't there.
There's going to be one more turn in the game. Oh, but he's just made the Dark Tellarknight.
Okay.
Who is 27.
Yep.
Is he going to play the Raigeki and push for the game?
Very good point. This is why we're not playing this deck.
Oh, no, he's going to rank up.
Into Trevor. Oh, yeah.
Does the same thing.
That works.
I mean, I could see that line of play. It's just whether or not he wanted to discard a card or play the Raigeki. I guess it does exactly the same thing.
I think this way it's guaranteed, isn't it?
Yeah, because he knows that back row gets off the field.
That's that. Wow, good, really good comeback there from Cyrus. Cyrus. I don't know why I keep saying Sirius. What's Sirius?
Harry Potter.
Yeah, okay. Well, I did kind of... Well, I'm working at the studio that worked on the film, so that's why. That's my job. Anyway,
You haven't like flashbacks to
slight flashback.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. Harry Potter.
To be fair, there is a Cyrus in the anime as well.
Yeah.
Or cartoon, depending on
how
you look at it.
Yeah, exactly. So, this round's been going on for about 25 minutes? 30 minutes probably, actually, I'd say. So, 10 more rounds? 10 more minutes?
10 more rounds?
Oh my god, 10 more rounds, I'd be dying. We'd leave here at
YCS Brotherhood.
No, we're not doing that.
Gonna have to like stay here in a sleeping
I
bag.
mean, like our 2-day event was like, it wasn't too bad for like time, but my god. In fact, it was really good for time.
Yeah, really good.
Really good. Anyway.
We're setting pretty good time here. No rounds are going ridiculously long until...
So, while they're siding, I'm just going to go over some of the decks that were here at the Brotherhood, the showing. So, as I said, we had 52 Zoodiacs. 56 Zoodiacs in total, and this is out of 189. 20 Metal Foe, 7 Blue Eyes, 9 Paleozoic, 10 ABC, 1 Hero. Don't know why that hero's just a random one. 5 DDD, 9 Cosmo, 7 Mermel, 7 Infernoid, which is the lawn mowing build, 2 Dark Magician, and then 52 others. I'm not entirely sure why Deck Check felt compelled to put Dark Magician as its own category, but never mind.
Yeah, well, maybe if one is 3-0, we'll have them on next round, but
I don't think they're doing very well.
Playing field.
So, going over the hands, Tom's going first, and Beaky's opened up with Zoodiac Combo, which you don't really want in your hand. Shaddoll Fusion, Decree, Shaddoll Fusion, and Instant Fusion.
And Cyrus has this Tellarknight Deneb, the Call of the Haunted, the Solemn Warning.
Good hand.
The Stellarknight Alpha, Stellarnova Alpha.
Yep.
And the card that I'm not really sure which one it is. It's the Tellarknight spell.
Yeah, which I'm not entirely sure
either. Are you able to work out which one that was?
No, but we can probably look at Tellarknight cards and you'll be able to find it easy. Probably want to do that.
If it is actually a Tellarknight card, maybe we're
It is. It definitely is a Tellarknight card, for sure. So, 15 damage is done. Because it's the shield.
Yep, so
I think it like increases attack or something. I can't remember.
So I'm guessing Tom's 2 set cards is the Royal Decree and the Zoodiac Combo.
No, he's got the combo in hand.
Oh, he kept it in hand?
Yeah. So it must be the Shaddoll Fusion. And there's the Decree.
Yeah, I mean, normally you would want to keep the combo in case you get a Thoroughblade.
A discard, yeah.
Thoroughblade discards a Zoodiac card, draws a card.
So, Beaky's drawn into the upstart, which is going to be a free draw. See, now you need to do... No, it pops the back row, depending on how many Tellarknights you have. That's what it is. It pops back row up to the number of Tellarknights you have. Broken! Well, that answered the roll decree pretty quickly. Flip decree, pop. Oh, okay.
Not sure what answers he has. Oh, it's that card that we don't actually...
It's the card that we don't know what it does, yeah. No, it came out last set, I think it was.
Yeah, it's a relatively recent one.
Yeah, it's a fairly... I'm pretty sure it was Invasion Vengeance, that one. But I'll probably be wrong. Wow, Upstart Goblin into the Barrage.
It's pretty good.
Good plays. Skill. Deck lists. The top deck lists will hopefully be on my channel. But I do have access to all of the lists, so if people do want certain deck lists from certain matches, do let me know. Preferably in the YouTube comments when they're uploaded, so then I can grab them before we leave, type thing.
Yeah, all of the top 8 players will probably give us access to the deck list, so you will see all of those.
Yeah. So the Vega was picked up there, which is pretty good. I Call the Haunted into the Deneb. So Beaky's actually pretty far behind here.
Yeah, probably going for the end phase Call the Haunted because
that's what it is. That's what it definitely is.
Yeah, so he's just doing that because he knows he's probably going to use another Deneb next turn.
Yep.
If he's looking to make the trigger, he's going to pick that Call the Haunted up anyway.
Yep. Draw into the rotor. Must be nice. So I can't remember what other back row he has. It'll be... Oh, it's the Warning. Yep, makes sense.
So one of the better ones to have just sat there.
Yep. And Beaky's got... So he's going to... Dear gods, I think Tellarknights probably have this.
Yeah.
He's got 6,500 to do. Can that Dark Tellarknight activate its effect in the battle phase to rank up?
Let's find out. I don't think it can.
Is it just main phase
I think
effect?
it's if you have the 7, that's when it becomes a quick effect.
Okay. So Beaky's on 2,000 life points now. He's taken a fair amount of hits.
So the Dark Tellarknight is not actually a quick effect until you have those 7.
Okay, cool, that's fine.
So now I'm not sure if it is a quick effect. I just know you can use it on your opponent's turn.
So he's activating Trevor, which is the correct thing to do, because not only do you get advantage from Call the Haunted, you get to take a card out of your opponent's hand, which is pretty big. If this is the Zoodiac card, it won't actually make any difference.
He's playing Shaddoll, so there are a few bad ones to hit, but he knows there's definitely a back row.
So 2 is this one, and it's the Instant Fusion. Nope, it's probably the worst one to hit.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter too much because he has the Call the Haunted, and he has the Solemn Warning.
And there's no Zoodiacs engraved for him to shuffle back with combo anyway, so...
Nope. Combo's just monsters, right?
Yep.
Yep. Well,
Shuffles back 5 Zoodiac
Yep, and
monsters
draw
with
one.
different names.
Jar of Avarice effect, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got the slight restriction. You have to shuffle different Zoodiacs back.
Yeah. But so Beaky's drawn up. Ooh, Tenki. Ooh. Good draw. But so now Beaky has 2 very good avenues of plays, and possibly more, because he has the Shadow Fusion, because Triver's a thing. He has the so Shadow Fusion can send anything. Probably going to send like a dragon, for example, and then that turns on a Nordin play as well for the instant fusion.
So he knows he has a Cauldron Haunted, so he's not looking to hit that with the.
So the Solemn Warning instantly gets hit, brings Cyrus down to 7,000.
We can see there's a Regeki in his hand. He's got the Vega, the Altair. I think this game's over. We just
probably it's just Beaky needs to try and play this out as much as possible.
Yeah, maybe there's something I can't see that Tom can do here to keep himself in the game.
So he's got instant fusion now, which is fine. There's multiple ways you could use that instant fusion, so it just goes down to which you think is the best at the exact moment in time. So Norden comes out, it's going to bring back the rat. He knows that back row is not going to interrupt him because it's a Call the Haunted, unless he was like super spicy and switched it out with something. That would be awesome.
It's like he picked up the Call the Haunted with the Trigger, didn't set.
But doesn't set something else. That'd be so good. So Brawl Ball, as you were saying in the second game, I think it was, he opts to go for the Broad Ball this time, using both Big Z targets. Goes into the Viper.
I mean, when you play it out, if you overlay the Borbo onto the rat there, or you just make the Broad Ball directly with the Norden, you essentially get the same field.
Yeah. See, this is the interesting thing about Zoodiac, that I think everyone needs to realise they die to mass destruction.
Yep.
Like, I haven't seen a deck variant for Zoodiac that can really deal with it.
So, I mean, just looking at our deck breakdown, there are 10 pure Zoodiacs and 32 Kaiju Zoodiacs.
Yeah,
so everybody's favouring the
Kaiju build,
Kaiju
which is a better build.
Just because it's a bit more resilient to the mass removal.
Yeah, because of Slumber.
Yeah,
Slumber's insane.
You have your own mass removal, so you don't get hurt as hard.
Yeah.
You also you have access to the 2-card OTK. Kaiju Slumber opens up a lot of spicy plays.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, would you just show Beaky the Raigeki?
Probably not. I mean, people do get quite funny in tournaments.
They do a little bit, don't they?
I mean,
I never like doing it. I just prefer to make my opponent play out. Unless they know it's there, then it's different. But
I mean, here they seem like they're being pretty nice to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
They have the gentleman's agreement on the D barriers.
Yeah, which is nice.
Seems like both players are taking the games. In the spirit of the game, they're taking it quite nicely.
Yep. So we have some mills here. The Black Sheep goes, Dragon goes, and Skormata goes. So he's going to build it, probably Skormata, then Dragon.
Yeah, I assume we're going to see the Shadow Falco here as well.
Yeah. So the Call of Haunt is played probably to get the Deneb, maybe. Oh, he gets the Vega. What do you think the play is behind getting the rationale of getting the Vega as opposed to the Deneb?
So,
because the Vega's going to use cards from your hand.
So I'm here with the Vega. He's going to summon the Altair, probably in defense position.
Well,
summon the Deneb, probably in defense position, and just end up with an Altair. So.
Okay, but that didn't matter in the end because Dryden chose to Chainlink 3 pop the Call of Haunted.
Yeah. So I mean, there is some sort of benefit to chaining for Vega there. Obviously, the player at the table knows exactly how many Altairs are left in his deck. So I think he's got one more copy.
I think so, yeah.
So, which is why he was favouring to do that, just because it leaves more cards on the field for him to be
Fair enough, yeah. It means he doesn't have to try and extend into that one big play of Vega, Altair, Deneb, I guess, so. Yeah, I used to play Tellarknights back in the day and then picked them up for like a month when they were meta and then instantly got rid of them because I just got really bored of them.
Yeah, I've been playing this deck for a while, but it was some time ago before they got all of the new support.
Yeah.
So back when Necros was
you say
deck.
New support, two cards, pretty much.
Dark Tellarknight and the card that I don't
the card you didn't even know what it did, but it's actually pretty good.
But it
no, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's you destroy spell and trap cards on the field up to the I think your opponent's spell and trap cards up to the number of Tellarknight monsters you control.
I'm guessing they probably need different names. Not like it would make much of a difference.
No.
No, just any Tellarknights.
Tellarknight monsters, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
which makes it better. So the Shaddoll the Shaddoll Shikanaga comes out. El Shaddoll Shikanaga. So Falco, what was the Earth? Was that a Max C?
I'm not actually sure. He would have fused from his deck, so.
Yeah, I'm seeing if I can see it on the replay.
Now I'm guessing what he probably would have done was at some point send a beast this turn, draw a card.
Yeah.
Send the Falco, but I mean, just guessing here.
So when he does Raigeki, the Falco is just going to come back.
Guess he can sort of. There's no darks for him to be able to make a window.
Which is a shame. So the Trevor's going to get banished here, which does get around Trevor's second effect of being able to then just vomit back onto the field.
Yep.
Which is very clever from Beaky. So he's going to take a bit of damage here, which I'll calculate now.
So I wonder what the last card in Tom's hand is, because he set a back row and I could only see the El Shaddoll Fusion as a spell or trap. So maybe he opted to discard his...
Oh, and he's drawn the same thing again. So Cyrus is on 3/9. So that MST is played. Sorry, the Raigeki's played.
We see the very powerful Raigeki.
Card's too good. So Shikanaga is going to activate its effect.
He's going to make a window, of course. Yeah, he had to set Falcon.
Yeah, which is pretty good, because...
Now it doesn't die, he gets one special summon.
Very clever from Beaky there. Very nice setup plays, that.
I was thinking obviously the window would play around it, but
yeah.
Forgot that you can indeed fuse with face down cards.
Well, I completely forgot that the El Shaddoll Fusion was there, and it was set since turn 1. So really clever play, and he gets back the fusion as well. So the Raigeki should still resolve, right?
Yeah, it does. The Kagetsuchi can detach one. I think you might have to detach to keep it alive.
Oh, okay. So that Raigeki actually didn't do a lot.
In fact, yeah, he probably did detach one, maybe?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Still got 2 materials, but...
So time in the round's been played in the normal tournament. We are on a slightly different time for the feature match. So it should be very soon coming up, I imagine.
Yep, so there's his one special summon for the turn.
Yeah.
So maybe we called it wrong. Maybe the Shaddoll player did have the game.
But we were just too dumb to see it.
Yep.
See the plays. That's basically what it is.
The sending the Falco made all the difference there.
Yeah. So I don't know what he was pointing at there. So he's going to activate the combo effect to banish to send 5 different monsters.
Yep.
Time is now called. As you can see by the dice, and the judge in the room has just messaged me. So we're on Tom's turn, so we have 5 turns, so each player gets 3 turns still. Tom is on his first turn, but I don't know how long this... Depends on how much stalling can happen now.
Yeah. I mean, he only has to do 29.
Yeah.
We know the back row looked like the Teller back row. The one that kills them. Sorry.
It was.
Kills back row.
Yeah, it was.
So the only card you'd really fear if you're Tom is probably the Drowning.
Yeah. Or any other Mirror Force. Because sometimes they play Quaking. Good, yeah. Quaking would be pretty good.
I think that is in Cyrus's deck. So if it was one of the Mirror Forces and he were to attack into it, it would be quite sad for him.
It would be because then you've got 3 zones being used. Admittedly, there is like a Falco there, but it's still very difficult to play with 3 zones. Although Zoodiacs can do it, just with overlaying, and he has put a lot of things back. But still.
So we're seeing, once again, just how good.
So he's swinging into another window. Going to get a draw from Beast and get back from window. It goes into another Tenki. He's going to swing again. I think Cyrus is very, very low. With only 1 special summon, he needs a Mirror Force.
Yeah, he would need the... but I believe he would have an additional turn, Tom, to do the remaining part of damage.
Yeah. So it's 1,000 to 800. Passes. Draws. Maxi. Way too late. Yeah, that is it. That is always drawing that Maxi after your opponent's decided to go nuts.
Yeah.
So annoying. Even I'm a bit salty about that. So that was a pretty good match. It was pretty entertaining, that one. You know, when you think Zoodiac Shaddoll versus Tellarknight, you don't really think it's going to be a maybe as exciting as you might think. But that was actually a very good match. Very good. Two players there playing very well. Beaky with some real good foresight, in my opinion.
Yeah, he managed
really
to pull
good.
it back at the end. I was just seeing Murageki. I was like, he needs a window to be able to survive this. Couldn't see the sort of the clear route to it.
I completely forgot that El Shaddoll fusion was set. That was a really impressive foresight. I really like that. And I think it was also good because he smoke screened it. Because he'd had it down for so long. Like, who really sets El Shaddoll fusion first turn? That's a bit weird, unless you're trying to bluff something.
Was that the card he set way back when?
It was Decree and El Shaddoll fusion. See what I mean? So, like, it's quite impressive play. So, yeah, I really do think that was very good. So, as we said, time has been called on the round in the main tournament. So, end of match procedures are currently going ahead. And, yeah, it shouldn't be too long before we are back with the next round, basically, which is round 4. Halfway through the tournament, and it is 3:45. Oh, it's going to be a long one. It's going to be a long one today, but hopefully, obviously, rounds should start to speed up now towards the end of the match, end of the day. So we shall see you guys a little bit later on, and yeah, stay tuned.